Definitely a sharp looking locomotive. And we are back on the bench trying to fix the 1688E and 1668E. Sure, this thing. And what I found last night was I put this on the test track. Power was coming through the shoes, but it was not getting past the E unit. I jiggled a couple of wires, managed to get it to move a little bit, and then it would trip the breaker on the transformer. So, I am going to assume that there is something bad about the E unit, because really, there's nothing else to go wrong with this. The armature is in good shape. The connection coming from the pickup rollers up to the E unit is fine. Yeah, so what we're going to do is I actually have an extra E unit right here. And well, that did work until that wire just broke off. So what we're going to do is we're going to repair an E unit, put it back into this, and see if that fixes the problem. Of course, I had to break that wire. Since this one's already wrecked, that was the one I was just going to drop in, but a wire just broke off of that. Since I got to repair an E unit, I might as well go ahead and repair the E unit that's on the train itself. So that is what we're going to do. I'm going to heat up my soldering iron, take this off, and start taking this apart. Might need a little bit more. Be sure to keep an eye out for where your parts go flying if that is what happens. Okay, so here is the bottom. That is definitely a bare wire, and that would be shorting out against that metal piece. For sure. And while we've got it apart, we can actually really get to cleaning off this drum and see what it really looks like. Because I had mentioned earlier, it looked like there was a crack. So now I can really kind of get in there and check it out and see if in fact that is what had happened, and maybe that's another reason why this isn't working. So, I see something there. I think that's just a swirl in the molding of the plastic. It's not a crack. I can't feel anything with my fingernails, so I'm not going to worry about that. So, this drum is fine. We can also now have a look at the fingers themselves. Yeah, they're a little bit dirty, but they're not bad. I have seen much worse. But I can take my little pad, just give them a very gentle wipe, because these fingers here, they are very thin. And in some cases, not this one particularly, but in some cases, the contact point, which is right at the crest of this little arch of the finger, can usually get worn through. I mean, after being run for decades, it is going to wear out. But these ones look pretty good. So we've cleaned off the drum. I'm having a look at the contacts in there are all looking fine. The wires are still attached well. The insulation on the rest of them is all right. So I think I can leave those, but the bottom one is definitely bare. So what I'm going to do is I am going to replace this wire. Now I just use regular phone wire because it's what I've got. You can go out and track down the cloth insulated stuff if you want to. I have been told through people on the message board and at some train shows that you can find this stuff at some radio repair or restoration places, I've heard. I'm sure there's other places you can get it. I haven't tracked it down myself. If you know, fire it into the comments and let the others know. So if they're trying to track it down for, if they want to do an authentic restoration on this, they'll know where to go to get that proper wire. So we're just going to heat this up, bend it, and get it out of there without causing too much damage to the part. So this stayed intact. That's good. The fingers still look good. They still look like they've got a decent amount of material left on them. So we'll just take the green Scotch pad here, just kind of clean up this surface a bit. I'm not going to cut the other end off of this yet until I get this all back together and see exactly how much wire I will need. Okay, and I also want to get kind of everything sort of lined up and back together. It's not the easiest thing to do. It requires a little bit of patience. I've done it so many times and I still very rarely get it together on the first try. And again, if you're not sure, if you have a spare or you use your photographs to see which way things went, what went where, and put it back accordingly. Okay, so I've got everything back into position. And what I do as a little final is I get my channel locks out and just give it a squeeze to lock it all back in. Sometimes you'll hear certain things clicking back into position, and hopefully it's not something snapping and breaking, but not in this case. We can wire this back up now and throw it back on the track and see if that solved anything or if we're just going to replace this whole unit. 3, 4. Okay, so we have the motor wall wired up again, back on the track, and I'm using my Rail King MTH transformer because it has a really good circuit breaker on it, and I don't want to cause any damage to the transformer, to the train itself, any more damage than it has, or anything else. So let's apply some power. We've got the E unit engaged. Let's see if it's going to short out or if it's actually going to do anything. That looks promising. It's moving. And the search continues. So after replacing this power wire, I'm getting a popping from in here somewhere. So I'm thinking there's a short in the E unit. It is the E unit itself. Not sure what. I can't really see what the problem is with it. But there might be something wrong with this coil in here. I don't know. Because the sparking is coming from around there. I've tried moving the field wire. The field wire is fine. It's not it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take an E unit that I know works. I'm going to swap them out and see if that helps the situation. So we've got a new E unit in here, and that fixed the problem. The motor runs perfectly fine now. So the original E unit, something was wrong with it. Something was shorting in that coil there. I might keep this part just for the bottom here and definitely for that original drum. So I'm going to finish assembling this and let's put her back on the tracks. So here we are, fellas. We are on the track. We have replaced the E-unit. We've replaced the wire from the pickup shoes going into the E-unit. We were just chasing a short around is what we were doing. And there's still one more issue that I could show you real quick here. So if you look at this wire in the front for the headlight, it's bare. I don't know if you can see that right there, right? So that kept touching the side of the holder for the light and would continue to shorten it out. So right now I'm just making sure that that wire is dead center so it's not touching anything. And all of our shorts are taken care of right now. Now I will go in later and I will put some tape around that. Maybe replace that whole wire. I'm not sure yet. But we will have to address that so that we don't cause any more problems with this locomotive. But that's it. So that is the 1668E. It is the 1938 model as shown in a PDF that I'd found online. And we're all good to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to send this guy around the track. And then unfortunately, I don't have any cars that will hook up to this particular coupler because I don't have any more pre-war stuff left. So what we're going to do is we're going to send this around a couple more times and just as it is. And then we're going to swap out this tender for one with a post-war coupler, put some cars on it, and see what she does. So let's fire her up. No shorts, thankfully. There we go. We've got reverse. And we got forward. We had forward. Reverse, neutral, forward, keep going. Woohoo! So there we have it, the 166E, my only pre-war locomotive now. The 253 has been sold at a train show, and I hope the fella's enjoying that one a lot. So right now that just leaves me with this as far as my pre-wars go. Just came down to chasing a short around, finding out what was shorting out, correcting it, and then it runs beautifully. So the next thing I got to do is I have to repair the original coal tender that it came with, figure out how to fix the mounting for the relay and that so that she will whistle again. But that'll be another video for another time. Thank you very much for sticking with me on this repair. I'm really happy to have one of these bullet noses, as my son calls it, or torpedo train, I don't know, streamline, art deco, whatever you want to call it. I finally have one now. So, thanks again, guys, for watching. Don't forget to do all of the YouTube stuff. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And head on over to Redbubble or Zazzle and check out the merchandise that I got there. There's some new t-shirt designs up. Or jump on over to Patreon. Any help and support is greatly appreciated so I can keep on making these videos and helping you guys repair your locomotives as well. So, once again, thanks for watching. See you on the next video. Bye for now.